Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Happy Monday night, Monday evening. I appreciate you guys checking in. Listen, just got back hanging out with Little Miss Crypto Siege, doing our thing a bit. Went to the bookstore after we watched a movie. Actually went to go see Deadpool. I don't know which number it is, but we went to go see it. It was pretty cool. In the little Dolby Atmos theater, as I like to say. So listen, we're going to go over some stuff. We're going to get into the cryptoverse and the dollar cost average strategy that we were not able to share in the live stream earlier today. Going to go over some stuff from Crypto X. Going to share the video from the CEO of Marathon Digital with you guys because he had some interesting stuff to say when asked by David. I think the guy's name is David Lynn. Why do I feel like there's a bunch of former people at ITM trading or why do I feel like I don't know, I guess they just moved on and got their own YouTube channels. I don't know. Daniela kind of doing her thing. She's now at ITM because Lynette Zhang is no longer there. Then there's another guy who took Daniela's place, I feel like, and now he got his own YouTube channel. But anyway, the David dude was interviewing um, the CEO from Marathon Digital. We'll get into that. What's going on? Be more careful. How are you, my friend? What's good, Siege? Haven't seen you since the Celsius BS. Yeah, I've been here, bro. I've been here every single day, at least 2 times a day, every single day. Sunday through Sunday, my friend. Appreciate you checking in. Appreciate you checking in for sure. We're going to go over the numbers. Man, you said you have, I haven't. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, bro. Yeah, indeed. I've been here. I'm going to go over the numbers. Bitcoin got up to 70,000, then came crashing back down all the way down to 66,000. Goodness gracious. Look, US debt. I mean, US debt, 35 trillion? 35 trillion. No, it's trouble. I think we're going to share a Senator Lummis's video. It's 3 minutes or so at the Bitcoin conference and talking about the Bitcoin strategy reserve. We'll share that. We want to definitely want to do use the into the cryptoverse tool for the dollar cost average strategy to see what it is, see if it makes sense for you. We can't go back in the past, but we can look at the past and look at past numbers to kind of give us an idea of what we could look forward to or possibly see if we begin a DCA strategy. Now, we've begun one. We did it about 4 months ago. We started our DCA strategy, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Maker, but certainly not financial advice. We're just going to share with you some of the things that we've been doing. See if it makes sense for you. Once you look at the numbers, it's hard to not see them anymore. I can tell you that. It's hard to not see them once you do see the numbers. And what's going on with Google banning the T word? You try to Google the former president and yeah, and won't let you do it. That, my friends, is interesting. I guess you would have to use Yahoo. Perhaps try Yahoo, perhaps try DuckDuckGo, perhaps try pre-search. But Google, after we watch a movie, Google, nah, not having it. Craziness. What's going on, Pookie? Google is not having you Google the T word. That is cray. That's cray that they do that and they think that it's good. They think that it's okay to do it. Got my favorite libation here. Some beetroot powder. After that madness that I had to eat, I had to eat at the movie theater, Yeah, some madness over there. Deadpool was pretty cool though. Pretty cool. I'd recommend it. It was funny as usual. Ryan Reynolds, funny as usual. We're gonna get into some crypto X stuff for sure with you guys, but main thing, cryptoverse, into the cryptoverse, DCA strategy. You just gotta take a look at the numbers. We'll go over some different dates and share that with you. because I think it's really, really important. So let's get into it. Let's go over the CoinGecko real quick. Let's share because, that's fair. Let's share, and go over these numbers real quick, Pookie. Let's get into it. I appreciate you guys checking in this late at night. Appreciate you guys for sure. All right, guys, do me a favor, hit that like button if you didn't on the way in. That'd be super, super cool. We always like to have just as many likes as we have viewers in the stream. And do me a favor, if you happen to be in that 45 to 50% of people that are hanging out, listening and watching the Crypto Seeds, and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, if you've been enjoying those hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're trying to get that number down from 50% or so down to about 25%. And you can do your part to help us do that. When we get to 10,000 subs, we're going to bring you some serious interviews with some serious people in the space that I know you guys are going to enjoy for sure. So here it is from CoinGecko. The total cryptocurrency market cap in the last 24 hours is down 2.6%. It's down to 2.49 trillion in total market cap. Bitcoin dominance is over 52.5%, probably like 53.5%. Bitcoin is trading at $66,447 again. And on the 30-day, it's up 8.8%. Ethereum is trading at $3,315 again. It's down 2% on the 30-day. Solana is trading at $181. It was just like a 190. It got up to $192 today. And on the 30-day, it's up 29%. Solana has flipped BNB and total cryptocurrency market cap. Holy smokes. It's number 4. XRP is trading at 60 cents. I'm sorry, it's at 60 cents. And on the 30-day, it's up 26%. Pretty cool. Interesting stuff for sure. Now, earlier today, I did a little quick look into the Solana ecosystem. That happens to be in the top 60 or 65 on total cryptocurrency market cap. Solana is up 29% on the 30-day. If you keep going down, keep going down. Let's see, what will be the next one? Dog whiff hat is a whiff is the thing. Whiff, WIF. Solana meme coin. Oh, it's less than 20% now in the 30 days, so we can't really count that any longer. It's not. We want 30% or right around 30% on the 30-day. Bonk, 21%, so it's down to 21% on the 30-day. Solana meme coin. Jupiter Exchange is still over 30%. How about that? Let's go, baby. Let's go. Jupiter Exchange, 35.5%. Solana ecosystem. So that is cool to see. Mantras, Marinade Steak Solana. Well, you can't count that because that's essentially Solana. That's essentially Solana. Helium Mobile up 50%. Solana ecosystem. Helium Mobile and it's Helium Internet of Things as well, up 50% on the 30-day. That's good to see. And that's in the top 100 there. So if I went to Hive Mapper or DPay, which is Devour, and the tokens DPay, I think it's up as well. So just some food for thought, family, some food for thought. All right, so let's go over this real quick. So Elon Musk says, wow, says here, Google isn't just trying to memory hold the assassination attempt. They're also suppressing search results for simply searching President Donald Trump, the T word. I think it's interesting. I'm not going in any particular order here with the stuff on CryptoX, but I find it fascinating that Google is doing that. But you could Google former other presidents and it comes up if there were attempts on their lives. Interesting. Anyway, Floodgate said this. It's interesting. It's a little, I guess this is a little note or letter to the XRP community. I am a member of the XRP community, says Floodgates be opened. Since 2017, I have made life-altering decisions based on XRP. I see myself walking through stages of grief with intensity. I have attended the Ripple Proper Party and been just as intense a researcher or decoder as anyone else. I'm tired. I just attended the Bitcoin conference in Nashville, Tennessee. The energy in this community is completely different than that of the XRP Army. It's interesting. That was evident the minute I was walking in the building before the conference. My husband was very impressed by it. I immediately said to him, well, that definitely has to do with price, but there is more to it. What did the energy feel like? It is calm, confident, but not boastful. It doesn't make false claims about mooning overnight. It is steady and wants to help and assist humanity in the long run. It is not focused on a CEO, CTO, or influencers. The energy of Bitcoin holders is cohesive and focused. It is not anxious or competitive. Again, price or lack of it, and the stages of grief and waiting for 7 years is evident throughout the XRP holders. I have to say that it was refreshing to be at the Bitcoin conference. I hope our community can see some of these same attributes very soon. It's been a very long 7 years. We are toxic now. So interesting stuff. So anyway, that's a lady, looks like a lady from the XRP community. Little note. Ashley Proper is, I don't know, reminding or putting it out there. Rafa Kahneman put this out. Everybody remembers that the president of the U.S. can't remove the SEC chair, right? Supreme ruled on this before. Presidents can't remove appointed heads of regulatory agencies. That's why politicians tried to introduce the SEC Restructuring Act in 2023. Ashley says the president can remove the SEC chair for neglect of duty, malfeasance, or other good cause. Certainly, an argument can be made for the neglect of duty in the cases of FTX and Luna. Don't forget Celsius and BlockFi and the rest. The FTX case is one of the most significant financial frauds in decades, and Gary Gensler was at the center of it, meeting with Sam Bankman-Fried and having at least one private Zoom call meeting with him just months before the collapse. If the SEC's duty is to protect investors, then Gary Gensler completely failed to do that. That's reason enough to fire him. Those are the words of Ashley Prosper. Flair wants to remind us that the first batch of DApps is about to get FLR emissions to share incentives. The Flair ecosystem is maturing rapidly, and we're excited to reward early adopters and liquidity providers, which I think is really, really cool. Someone had a nice chart here too, but when you go to the portal, I believe if you go to portal.flare.network, I think you can see something in relation to the emissions. Let's see real quick. Portal.flare. Welcome to the Flare portal. Do I have to connect? Dang it. All right, let's see. So I want to connect. Yeah, anyway. I don't want to connect right now. But it looks as though they have it like a little emissions button on the top right. I saw of a particular site, which is interesting. So, and this is, early adopters, huge. People participating early, huge, I think. This is interesting what's going on. We don't know what the real deal is with this kind of stuff going on. We don't know the real deal, but apparently U.S. is moving Bitcoin to some wallets, about $1 billion or 2 billion worth. Anyway, Senator Lummis put this out. This is the first action taken after Harris with, in parentheses, exclamation, what is these things here? I don't even know what this is. Reset with Bitcoin and crypto. Reset with Bitcoin and crypto. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Says here, Biden admin wants to dump, now this is speculation, wants to dump the U.S. government's Bitcoin before Trump can get in. 2 billion of Silk Road BTC was just moved. Well, just moved doesn't mean necessarily selling. So it's been a bunch of stuff on X about that move, a bunch. Now, it wasn't just the Donald who said that. Remember, our RFK said that as well about BTC. So, got another lawyer, Jason Gottlieb, taking on the SEC because the SEC is has sued people who create NFT art and claiming that they're securities. So anyway, he's back at it. I think this was the dude who I forget what prior thing he was. In any case, Jason Gottlieb going at the SEC again. Someone on here says you won't need to sell your Bitcoin. I don't know about this institution. Cantor Fitzgerald is a United States financial institution that works directly with the Federal Reserve. Yeah. So essentially, the long and short of this is people will be wanting to borrow against their Bitcoin, not sell it. Now, I find it interesting, this post here. I'm going to look it up. Peter Schiff says something that I just think is, I think I posted, did I repost? Let me see if I reposted first before I search. Because Peter just says some stuff that makes you think. Just, I don't know, just makes you think, like, what are you saying, Peter? And why are you saying it? Peter Schiff, the gold guy. All right, let's see. Right here. Peter Schiff said, both Saylor and Trump say never sell your Bitcoin. If that's true, and no one who buys Bitcoin ever sells any, what's the point of owning it? What's the appeal of living in poverty, dying with a big stack of Bitcoin, with successive generations of heirs repeating the process? Like, you have to be freaking kidding me. This dude is over 50. He has, I don't know if it's a successful gold thing or not, but he surely has to be joking. Suggesting that people are going to live in poverty because they save their asset. They don't liquidate it. They keep it. Like, are you kidding me? Like, he doesn't know that this has been going on for, if not 100 years longer. The wealthy buy, they borrow, they die. They put their assets in the trust and make the trust available to their kids. They teach them the buy, the borrow, and die strategy. Like, seriously, Peter? Unbelievable to me, family. Unfreaking believable to me. Let's get to the chat here, see what's going on. Keyless is in the bill. What's going on, Keyless? Lady of Crypto is here. James Pace, what is the T word? Trump. James. Trump. Reaper 76, dig the show. Oh, dig the show. What's going on, Reaper 76? Dig the show every day. I don't know how people can put their faith in Bitcoin when nobody even knows who created it. It's super sketchy to put much faith in it. I hear you, Reaper 76. The Muskegon aristocrat. What's going on, my friend? What's going on, Crawfish? How are you? The world is getting crazier, says Pookie Pookie. It is. It really, really is. I just read something, Reaper 76 from an XRP content community member. Did you see that? I just read something. What comes across as pretty sincere, honest, and kind of what's going on in their life. About 7 years of holding XRP and I guess not winning there, I guess. I think that, and I did a live stream on this earlier, I think people who make a decision to pick one over the other are losing, whether it be the Bitcoin person or the XRP person. And not only did I think it, I've proven it mathematically that anyone who does that is losing. And I use something called Into the Cryptoverse, and I do a dollar cost average strategy. I do a lump sum strategy. I think that people feels like we are in a simulation, says XRP Nick. Indeed, I think that if we're here, and it all depends on why we're here. If we're here, and I've been holding since 2017 as well. If we're here to create wealth and generational wealth for our families, and hopefully that would lead to freedom, financial, freedom. Freedom for me is the ability to say no to whatever I want to say no to and yes to whatever I want to say yes to, right? If we're here for that, to create that, to make that happen, you got to ask yourself, how are you doing today? If having been in XRP for 7 years, how are you doing? It's not how you're doing and then take away things that have happened to you while you've been holding it. It's just, how are you doing? Right? Isn't that what it is? It's really just, how are you doing? Because here's the interesting thing. I did a video about an XRP entertaining content creator who was blessed enough to be able to buy Bitcoin in 2013. Blessed. Can you imagine? With that opportunity. So you get this choice. And I say it's always 3 choices. It's Bitcoin, it's XRP, and it's Bitcoin and XRP. So it's A, it's B, or C. It's A or B or C. And this person happened to choose B for ideological reasons. For philosophy, for some ideology of what he thought Bitcoin was and what he thought XRP was. And it wasn't technology, it was ideology. It was, well, one group of people are saying, we don't need these banks and this banking thing. And the other group was saying, we're going to work with the banks. We don't need the banks and the governments. We're going to work with the banks and the governments. And I just find it ironic that the people that were going to work with the banks and the government were the ones sued by the government. But my point to all of that was that C was the best answer. C was the best answer for people who got into Bitcoin in 2013 and only, and for people who got into XRP only in 2013. C was the better answer. Most times, and is better than or. Keyless. Most times, and is better than or. Most of the time. Now, that's cool because, people make mistakes. People, and it's not a mistake in getting XRP. The mistake is not in getting both. So, it's not a mistake in getting only Bitcoin. The mistake is not getting Bitcoin and XRP, right? So I say that to say people make mistakes, right? I mean, people make mistakes. I know I've made mistakes. I was buying Bitcoin in the latter part of 2016, 2017, and Ethereum in 2017. I made mistakes with that Bitcoin and that Ethereum. I made mistakes. I bought XRP too, but I made mistakes. People make mistakes. When I say a mistake, you make a wrong decision about what you're going to do with an asset or what you're not going to do with the asset. But when you put the numbers in, it's a tough lesson. If you put the numbers in since 2013 on a dollar cost average basis, it's a tough mistake. So I learned from that dude's mistake and a little bit of my own, but I was buying Bitcoin and Ethereum in 2017. I just wasn't fortunate enough to buy it in 2013. I wasn't in the space. Tough lesson. About $4.5 million. Tough lesson. Just on a dollar, it was $200. Just on a $200 a month DCA strategy. Tough lesson. I think it was nearly 5 million. Right? Tough lesson. But the answer was clearly both. But the point is, what's the strategy? I did a stream earlier today and I said most people, it takes about 5 years to figure out what it is that we're in. Like, what is this digital asset space? What are we in here? What are we doing here? Are we trading? What are we doing? Swing trading, day trading? Are we holding? What are we doing? Are we DeFiing? What is DeFi? Is it NFTs? What are we doing? It takes about 5 years to kind of figure that out. Then it takes another 5 years getting really good at the thing that you figured out. And that's in anything. It's in anything. And what I learned is, hey, the best strategy for 99% of people in the digital asset space is exercising your options to choose more than one. Now, because we've been in the space and because there's some numbers, there's some data that we can look at and reflect on and make decisions in the future. Currently, there's only 3 assets. Maybe 4, but I think there's only 3. Now, we're going to look at it. That have a year-over-year return of more than 40%, and I think only 2 over 100%. I think prior to 2022, it was Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. I think Bitcoin in 2024 moved to 40% because it's every 4 years. It's this business cycle, and not 4 years, but the business cycles is every 4 years. But according to the power law, Bitcoin has moved from 100% now to roughly 50%. I say 40% year over year. And Ethereum is still just at 100, maybe 101. Solana is 250 to 300%. I say this to say, just because Polygon, right? Pretty good sidechain. They doing a ZK EVM now, even. Pretty good stuff, pretty good smart people. Nice return, 2020, 2021. Nice. Most people was 5 and 6 figure percentage wins. Doesn't have a year-over-year return, though. That nets up 3 figures. Neither does Algorand. Neither does Hedera Hashgraph. Awesome stuff, probably smart people, but the numbers are the numbers. And we plugged in all those places. We plugged in Algorand, Hedera Hashgraph, we plugged in Ethereum, we plugged in Cardano. But the numbers tell you the whole story, right? And it's not throwing shade on the community or the technology. We're just looking at the data. What is the thing? Because I believe that the digital asset space is going to come up with a magnificent 7, might be 10, just like in the S&P and the NASDAQ, right? We have that top 7. I believe crypto is going to get that, right? Like, they weren't the chosen ones until they became the chosen ones. Google to become Google and Amazon and Apple and Netflix, right? They had to create network adoption and leverage the network adoption and build stuff that people want to use, et cetera, right? And we got this magnificent 7. I think we're going to have that in crypto. And it's probably going to be layer 1s. I don't know, Keela, so a layer 2 might, but it's probably going to be layer 1s. And right now, the year-over-year returns is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and possibly even MakerDAO. We're going to go over those numbers. I'll share the dollar cost average strategy with you from 2016 or from 2017. I'm going to do the 2013. And this is not to highlight this dude's mistake, but it's a massively important lesson in that, sometimes and is better than or. And the other lesson is there wasn't a lot of data in 2013, but there's a lot of data now. There wasn't a lot of network adoption in 2013, but there's a lot of network adoption now. How is it that Solana just bypassed XRP, bypassed Cardano, bypassed Polygon, bypassed Algorand, bypassed Hedera Hashgraph? How is it that happened? But what's most important is recognizing that it did happen. Then you got to look at the numbers and say, for me, I got to look at the numbers and say, hey, if I hold this thing, yeah, I'm going to take profits perhaps on the way up. Yeah, I'm going to take out some lifestyle chips into 2025. But if I hold this thing, what's the year-over-year return that I can expect? The numbers are out. And sure, the people who got Brett, meme coin on base, Whiff, Dog with Hat, meme coin on Solana, Bonk, meme coin on Solana, Floki, meme coin somewhere, Pepe, meme coin from Ethereum. Sure, those were tremendous runs. But are you going to get a net year-over-year return on those? Of 100% or more? Like, is that going to happen? Probably not. Probably just the same way that Matic. It didn't happen for Matic. But if you know that, and you're blessed to get the Matic win, like I was blessed to get the Matic win, right? Where do you put those winnings? You got to have a strategy, right? You probably want to put it in something that is going to make you 40 to 300% year over year. Right? You look at the risk adjusted returns and go into those things. Probably, right? That's something that I had to learn. Just learned that months ago. Just learned this. I haven't been in the space since late 2016, all in 2017. Just learned that months ago. Just became aware there is this such thing as year-over-year return. Now, you know how I figured that out? By being outside the XRP bubble. I didn't learn that inside the XRP bubble. I had to learn it from Dan Tapiero and Anthony Scaramucci and Raoul Paul. I didn't learn it inside the XRP community. No one was talking about that. I had to learn it from Benjamin Cohen from Into the Cryptoverse, who was a major alt maxi. And not so much now, because he ended up building all these charts and building all these tools and started inputting the data. He's like, 98% of these alts aren't holding their weight against Bitcoin. And that was a massive lesson for me, because I've looked at this matic, I'm like, goodness gracious. But then when you put in the numbers on the dollar cost average strategy or year over year return or the lump sum, it just had its moment. Like a meme coin. It's had its moment. And I don't know why it didn't get a year over year return, but the market decided. The market decided if they were going to continue with the helping Matic go up the network adoption curve. The Matic looked at the market looked at it and said, well, what are the things I can use on Polygon? Are there some stuff I can use? Network adoption it's really just that. It's people hopping on the chain because there's something to do on the chain. But if it is what it is, if that's the game, got to know the game that you're in. I learned the lesson. It's not about necessarily chasing all the 20 and 30 and 40 X's. It's about finding the stuff that's going to give it a year over year return after you get your 10X and your 20X and your 30X. What are you doing with that? What are you doing with that? I made the mistake. I went back into trying to find another 20, 30X with that roughly, I don't know, 100K or so from that. Right? It's a lesson learned. Right? Lesson learned. That's why I say first 5 years, people are just trying to figure it out, Kilos. You know, what is this thing I'm doing, XRP Nick? What are we in? What we got going on? Right? And then it's the next 5 years of, okay, now that you know, now let's prove out that we know for the next 5 years. That's the game. That's right, Pookie Pookie. Hit that like button, family. Do me a favor, hit that like button. If you didn't do so on the way in, there's no worries. Just collapse the chat. Go smash that like and come back and hang out with the Crypto Siege. I'm gonna go over into the Cryptoverse and just share an example. Look, it's a lesson that we can learn. We can benefit from this lesson. It's a massive lesson. Imagine being able to hold and dollar cost average into Bitcoin since 2013. Imagine that blessing. All right, Keyless, I'm going to share. I got the Zoom to work the right way. I'm going to share. All right, let's take a look at this. Reaper 76. This is into the Cryptoverse. By the way, this tool is free. This is a former alt maxi turned Bitcoin maxi because he built all these tools and put some stuff in. And it's like most of the stuff as compared to Bitcoin is just not holding their weight. All right, so into the cryptoverse.com. You can go to app.intothecryptoverse.com. You go over here to tools. Most of these are paid stuff, but there's a couple that are free. The one of those free things is the DCA strategy. DCA strategies, right there, right? You can pick the asset to compare it against, and you can put assets too, right? Bitcoin compared to Solana XRP. You could change it around. You could change it to some other thing and compare it to some other. It's the same thing, right? We just did 100 hours. Just $100 in a DCA strategy. $100. I'm going to put Solana, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin. $100 a month. We're going to go back to 20. No, let me take Solana out of here. We're going to go back to 2013. January 1st, 2013 to present day. Just a little $100 DCA. Let's do 2. I think 2 is better. Let's do 200. I think 200, right? This is a month. Reaper 76. This is $200 a month, not every week. This is $200 a month. I feel like even your kid can do that. You got maybe a teenager working. He or she could come up with $200 a month. I got Little Miss Crypto C's doing a DCA strategy. Just a couple $100 a month. So here it is, right? If you did that starting in 2013, you only would have invested $27,800. I did that in about 16 months, probably more than that. Yeah, no, 16 months, probably more than that. Every single month, 15 to 2,500. Every single month. But I only did it for 16 months, and that's the difference. That's the difference. So anyway, so let's check out the numbers. Ethereum, if you would have done $200 a month in Ethereum, it would have netted you nearly $5 million. Holy smoke! I didn't even know Ethereum wasn't even out in 2013 yet. So that's how well Ethereum done. It wasn't even out yet. You only had a choice of Bitcoin, XRP, and what do they call those things? Those forks of Bitcoin, like Bitcoin Gold. You guys remember the Bitcoin Gold? It was Bitcoin Gold, keyless. So anyway, Bitcoin would have netted on a $27,800 investment, $4,054,858. Think about a grown adult. $40 years old. 40. I'm a man. I'm 40. $200 a month. $4 million on a DCA strategy. XRP would have given you $609,000. Put them together, that's $4.6 million on an and instead of an or. That's a tough lesson. Man, if I only would have just put my ideologies aside and just say, why not both? I mean, they're there. I mean, it was the first one. That's tough. That makes you understand why all the nonsense is coming out of that dude's mouth today. All right, so let's do a DCA strategy. I feel like we're going to pick another year and another month. And you could also do lump sum if you wanted to do a lump sum. The lump sum thing is interesting. I'll do the lump sum one. We really should take Ethereum out of here because it wasn't around. We're going to do a lump sum. We're going to do $1,000. What does that look like? Ooh, XRP. 3 million. Not as good. Interestingly enough. Wait a minute. Start date. Yeah. I don't know how the $1,000 does you. Well, I guess it does. It's just a one-time payment. So it's, but anyway, it's a one-time payment. Total invested is 1,000. How is this possible? $1,000 in the Bitcoin. I don't know how it's possible, but this was insane. $5 million, $1,000 in XRP in January of 2013, 102,000. Interesting. But you can put the numbers in here. Let's go to 20. I don't know why I want to do 2017. But anyway, DCA strategy, let's do $100. Let's do 20. I don't know. I don't think it matters, but we'll do 2017 till July 29th. Let's add Ethereum and let's add Maker. Ethereum, $100 a month from 2017 would have given you $175,000 on a $9,000 investment. Bitcoin would have given you 79,000 on a 9,000 investment. XRP would have given you 37,000, and Maker would have given you 25,000 on a DCA strategy of $100 a month. Just 100. Just $100. Let's see. Cardano. $26,000. What else did we do? Solana. $100 a month since January 2017. Cardano, Ethereum was $175,400. Solana is $125,000. Bitcoin 79, XRP 37, Cardano 26, Maker 25,000. Let's do 2020. We had a little 2021 bull run. Let's do 2020. Till July 29th. $100 a month, $5,000 invested. Solana would have given you 125,000, and Ethereum 24, Bitcoin 15,000. If you started a DCA strategy since 2020, January 2020. This is a good tool to use if you want to get an idea of what does a DCA strategy look like? How is it going to benefit me? It's interesting, 2020 XRP, you know, that's when the XRP had the not available thing. You can see how the numbers are down. You can see how the numbers are down from there. I do the DCA strategy, Reaper 76, because anyone can do it. Like anyone can do that. $100, anybody can do that. Most people could probably do 500 a month on a DCA strategy. And the DCA thing, or, you know, if you do 500, you can do 250 and pick two. Right? Or 100 and pick four. Just DCAing. Hello, C's. I have to go back to start just checking. What's going on, Rodwell Nobrega? How are you, bro? It works, right? It just, the DCA thing, it just kind of works. You kind of hedge against yourself. I always find it fascinating that you hear a lot of people who are wealthy before they got into crypto, they talk about DCAing it. Most people, I don't think, understood it. Look at there it is. Reaper 76 says, I've been doing DCA for years. Max out that I trust capital. I hear you, my friend. Pookie Pickle Siege. Pookie says, Siege, your thinking is on a different frequency. Thank you, Pookie Pookie. Appreciate that. And so I just figured, look, man, if we're getting these kind of returns on a DCA strategy, then just why not put one in? In other words, you know, if I share this cryptos currently year to date outperforming Bitcoin in the last year. Very hard to pick that one, right? But if you know the year-over-year return on Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana, if you know those, it helps you to figure out if you're blessed enough to get some altcoin gains, kind of what's your strategy. But this is Banter Bubbles. And in Banter Bubbles, you can compare these cryptos to Bitcoin. And you can pick how do they compare in the hour, how do they compare today, and then for the week, and for the month, and for the year. Right? So let me make sure I got the settings correct. Bitcoin, yeah. So these are the assets outperforming Bitcoin year to date for the year. The dog with hat is a meme coin. Bonk is a meme coin. Brett on base is a meme coin. I don't know if people were fortunate enough to get into these or not that are on this channel. I don't think so. Base launched and this Brett thing, and Brett came and did his thing. God bless those people who got that 5-figure percentage gain. God bless them. Now, the ones in green are ones that have year to date have outperformed Bitcoin this year, this past 12 months. The ones in green. This mantra has been around in the Cosmos SDK ecosystem for 6, 7, almost maybe even 8 years. It's finally had its day. This is mantra. It's compared to Bitcoin, it's up 2,090%. So about a 20 or so X for some people. Pretty good. Floki, I think it's a meme coin. It's 233%. I'm only going to rattle off the 100% or more. So Floki meme coin. Solana, 220%. And you got to ask yourself, do you have these? Solana, 220%. Floki, I believe, is a meme coin, 233%. Arweave is the AI play, I believe. File storage AI play, I believe. 142%. Do you have Arweave? Do you have Solana? Got to ask yourself. Jasmy, 230%. Jasmy is an Internet of Things play from former Sony executives. Started in Japan. 230%. Fetch. It's kind of a combination there of Fetch AI and I think AGI and some other 3 of them people hooked up and got together. 153%. Ordi, that Bitcoin play. In the Ordi space, in the Bitcoin space, 155%. Do you have Ordi? Do you have Fetch? Do you have Jasmy? Do you have Arweave? Do you have Mantra? Were you fortunate enough to be in Mantra? Do you have Solana or Floki? Rune over here to the top right, 125%. Thorchain token. Ondo, the RWA play that we shared on this channel for about a year. I hope some of you guys took us up on that one, got the Ondo. It's 172%. Marinade, Solana, staking platform on Solana. Like I guess they have a thing there that you kind of, its price is higher than the regular Solana. But it's 243%. We have some Marinade Solana as well. Then there's Pepe, which is a meme coin. I think this is a Ethereum meme coin. Caspa. I don't know. People are throwing shade on Caspa. I don't know. It's supposed to be some kind of newer technology. Layer one, it's 141%. Now, again, there are some greens that are not at 100%. I just wanted to share the 100%. Year to date, right now, Ethereum is not outperforming Bitcoin, at least not at 100% or higher. I think it's down. I think it's in the minus in reference to Bitcoin year to date. So just something to think about. So in other words, how are we going to pick the ones that are going to outperform Bitcoin? Have we perhaps become so enamored with the 20x and 30x potentials that maybe we've missed the thing? I personally said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to re-weight my portfolio. Just just me personally. I'm going to re-weight it because it was more weighted to the altcoins. And yeah, I had a bunch of those that are outperforming Bitcoin, Jasmine and Andu and Solana, Marinate Solana. Yeah. But I did have a portfolio that is more weighted in the alts than it was in the alts that were not with the year-over-year return, as opposed to the alts with the year-over-year return, the Ethereum, the Bitcoin, and Solana. So I'm like, yeah, I got to change that. And I feel like I want to say Maker is as well, but I can't remember how we looked at and discovered the year-over-year return. I think I did some chat GPT thing as well. But I'm sure there's a chart. If there's a chart that says that Bitcoin's year-over-year is 40 to 50%, and Ethereum is about 100, 101%, there's got to be a way in a chart to figure out all of them, especially top 20. What's the year-over-year return on Cardano? What's the year-over-year return on XRP? It's got to be a chart or tool other than ChatGPT, because sometimes ChatGPT, you gotta prompt it the right way for it to answer you correctly. Oh yeah, Ohm. Yeah, I don't have any of that Ohm. I do remember Ohm. C said Keela says C's off topic, but do you remember Ohm? Yeah, I do. I still have some and thought I'd cash out some, and I was able to cash out immediately. I thought it was dead completely. Wow, nice. Yeah, I remember cashing out of that thing a while ago. Uh, a while ago. I'm hoping that EGLD will find some kind of life so I can get out of that, whatever is left, because that was, yeah, bad. Well, I'm glad you're able to cash out. Interesting. Yeah, that it still has some liquidity. I was thinking about them the other day, and that guy, I forget his name, who was friends with Andre Cronje and the what's the stable coin that they had? I can't even remember the name of the stable coin right now. What's going on, Paul Bogo? Siege says, the ultimate professional. Thank you. Need to sprinkle some into day, my friend. I hear you, guy. I appreciate that. So, like, I'm thinking, I'm not weighted correctly. Like, I'm not weighted correctly. And then the other part of it too was getting back to that ethos of in 2016 and 2017, some of 2018, where it was like, the reason why we have these altcoins, right? Now, what's that? Well, we have these altcoins so we can get more Bitcoin. I remember that used to be the thing. I would get on YouTube channels and they would say that. And then after that 18 bull run, people weren't saying anything. The gains were crazy. Even XRP's gain, crazy. The gains in the alts were so crazy. Then you throw these ICOs on, and everybody's thinking the ICOs are going to do this crazy thing like the alts did in 2017, 2018 bull run. And people, I just think, frankly, just lost their way and forgot the mantra. But now in 2024, we can We can check year-over-year returns. The reason why these Uber 9-figure, 8 and 9-figure exit guys are buying Bitcoin is because they can park their money and get 40 to 50% on that money. And they'll be able to get that for the next 20 years. They're going to be good with that. Then there's the rest of us who are trying to get to 25 and 50 million. So I think, I need to leverage the altcoins, and then put them in those things. They're going to give me that, that good year-over-year return. You know, 100,000, 30,000, 33,000 in Bitcoin, 33,000 in Ethereum. I'm just throwing out numbers, 33,000 in Solana. Because the Mag 7, Rodwell Nobrega, hasn't been determined yet. It hasn't been determined yet. We're just, 15 years into this thing. We're just 15 years in. It hasn't been determined what the Mag 7 is. But we do got some statistical data that says these are the three that are netting this year-over-year return. That's, 100% or more. And Bitcoin just went down from 100% to about 50%. Right? I mean, the numbers are the numbers. You should try to figure out you guys should try to figure out on your own. If you can figure out the net year-over-year return, whether you're using ChatGPT or some people got some charts, or someone who does the charts and can put it in the data and track it. But these are the numbers that I've been seeing. Bitcoin is about 50%, maybe 40%. Ethereum is right around 100%, maybe 95% or 101%. Solana is 250% to 300%. You make 100,000 in Solana, you take some for whatever. Let's say you take, I don't know, maybe you take half and you say, man, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, but you're going to keep the Solana 50%. You're going to keep Solana, 50,000 now, and year over year is 250 to 300%. The challenge is people are going to see the 50 go down to 30, even though they still have the same number of Solana. They're going to see the value go from 50 to 30, and then, they're worrying. And then the next thing you know, you turn around, that's 150,000, that 50,000. But I will tell you this, my biggest lessons learned came from people who were uber successful before they got into the digital asset space, sharing their knowledge and sharing the tools that they use. That's how I discovered the year-over-year return for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So for me, it was Raul Paul and Gary Cardone and Benjamin Cohen and Mark Yusko, just trying to figure this thing out. Because I knew for me, it couldn't be Tone Vaye or who's Yusko's partner, Anthony Popliano. I listened to them, but you could always feel the slant. You could always feel the bias, right? I needed to get a broader perspective. So I said, I'm gonna listen to some people and start, doing my homework and listening to people, right? Finding voices of value, right? My mentor used to say, you need to find a voice of value, tune in to them, and stay for a while. So that's what I started doing. My latest guy is Fred Krueger and Gary Cardone. I'm just first thing in the morning, I'm just learning. These are 9-figure, 8 and 9-figure exits, dudes, before crypto. Building businesses, winning and losing, building business, establishing a net worth, and then coming into this space with tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. They got the create wealth, keep wealth thing down. Let's see what they're doing. Because it ain't about the asset, it's about the strategy. Like, what are they doing? Right? I find it fascinating that Raul Paul is Solana. Now, he's a trader. He's a global trader. He traded Bitcoin and won. He traded Ethereum and really won. And he traded Solana, and his average cost is $17. But he's a trader with charts and access and resources. So he can do that kind of trade thing. So for me, I'm okay, let me leverage what he knows and assess my own situation. And he tells the people on his show on channel all the time, will you please just stay in the top layer ones, just hang out there with 90% of your stuff. If you want a degen, take about 10% and do the degen things. Now, for him, the degen stuff, just to be fair, is anything outside of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. That's his degen. He says further down that risk curve is the more degen thing you're doing. Because for him, it's tell me the thing that has created network adoption and the chart, and it's outperforming Bitcoin. Okay, what is that? Oh, okay, that's Ethereum. Okay, tell me the thing that is creating network adoption and is outperforming Ethereum. Okay, that's Solana. That's his thing. Now, but it's hard to argue 3 for 3. But he's got charts, he's got access. What do we have? We have access to his access. I mean, his YouTube channel's free. His website, free. So that's what I did. Bunch of Raul Paul videos, bunch of Dan Tapiero videos. These are former hedge fund guys, billions of dollars in assets under management. All the hedge fund guys pay for Raul Paul's newsletter. Dan Tapiero, Anthony Scaramucci pay for Raul Paul's newsletter. The GMI, Global Macro Investor. Feels like a dude that the average retail person should be listening to. You know? This thing called there's this buy and borrow and die thing that a lot of the wealthy people do. I'm kind of open to it. It takes a little management skills, of course. But so does everything. It takes a little management skills to buy, borrow, and die, setting up the trust, setting up the right trust, educating your children and what it is that you're doing. Sure, it takes a little work. The wealthy of the wealthy have been doing it for decades. So that's kind of where I am, fam. I just wanted to kind of let you guys know. I looked at my portfolio, about 30-something stuff, and I'm like, man, this stuff is weighted heavily in the higher risk assets. And maybe I need to change the weight. So I decided to change the weight. That's all. I still have high risk assets, but not as much value invested as the less risky stuff. So I changed the weight, got rid of some stuff. put it into more of the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, and kept my narrative play of RWAs. I was already vested pretty heavily in the 2 RWA plays. There it is. And then, of course, still dollar cost averaging. Still dollar cost averaging. Buy some Bitcoin, buy some Solana. Buy some Bitcoin, buy some Solana. Still dollar cost averaging. That's just me. That's what I'm doing. Until the charts and numbers say something different. Who knows? The network adoption might change. I mean, retail is retail. Retail is retail. But it's kind of hard to see Ethereum and Bitcoin not having network adoption. What makes you say that, Reaper 76? Solana needs some serious network upgrades. Network? Yeah. What makes you say that? So that's kind of how I looked at it. Well, so the strategy for us is we're going to leverage these alts. We're going to leverage the alts as best we can to get more Bitcoin. But when you look at it net over net, it's about average downtime for Solana compared to Avalanche, compared to Matic, compared to Ethereum. It's average. It's right in line with the other blockchain. It only appears as though it's done more. So when you consider once 2024, once 2023, 2 times 2022, something like that, it still nets out average downtime for a typical blockchain their first 5 years. Now, we know about some exceptional stuff, don't we? But let us not forget Bitcoin and Ethereum. People forget Bitcoin and Ethereum. You remember Hello Kitties? Was it Hello Kitties? People forget Ethereum. People forget 20, bull runs with Bitcoin. Right? Can't listen to the noise. You got to find the signal. You got to really get the alpha. You got to get the signal, the real stuff, not the noise. It's hugely important. My guy, Virtual Bacon, educated me on that. About average. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the key. Keyless knows we joke on this channel all the time about XRP holders got to stick their head outside that XRP bubble and see what's going on. Gain some different perspectives. Hugely important because in the end, we're all here, I think, to create wealth and generational wealth for our families so that we can acquire freedom. Hugely important. So hopefully XRP, not hopefully. Look, there's a big difference in 2020 and 2021 compared to now for XRP. Relisting on exchanges, stablecoin coming, next level automated market maker, leveraging the decentralized exchange with a stablecoin, an EVM sidechain to attract the developers that they can transition and still leverage the XRPL. We just got to, Orchestra Finance is going to have to do its thing. DexFi Pro is going to have to do their thing. Anados Finance is going to have to do its thing. Ripple X, when this lawsuit is over, is going to have to do its thing. Where's the XRP emissions? Where's those XRP emissions? Ripple X. Tell us about the liquidity incentive event you guys got planned. I know you got to wait for this case. You got to wait for the non-appealable to be present. But this is what I'm expecting. This is what I'm expecting. I'm told they got a lending and borrowing platform in the works. I forget the name of it now, but it's in the works on the XRPL, lending and borrow. Now, DexFi Pro was going to leverage hooks and bring the same thing. And they're also going to leverage the lending protocol that's coming natively to the XRPL. So what we're going to see is we're going to evaluate the network adoption of the XRPL. We're going to see what that's going to look like. We got to see. We'll see. How many of those partners on RippleNet are going to be on the XRPL? Remember, they're bringing their products, RippleNet, Liquidity Hub, ODL, onto the XRPL. We'll see what the customers are going to, what are they going to bring to the table? We're going to see what that's going to look like. DeFi Llama is tracking them now. DeFi Llama is tracking the XRPL now. They're showing about 12 million in TVL. Let's see. Let's see what happens after this case is over. But I'm telling you right now, I will be shouting out Ripple X. I'll be calling them to the carpet about this liquidity incentive event, I call it. I'm going to call them out. You're getting a billion XRP every month. We can't be outdone by ZK Sync and the Arbitrum DAO. Or Maker's DAO, to be honest, even though Maker's an OG. We can't be outdone. You got to come correct, Keyless. I'm going to be calling them out, Paul Bogo. They have got to come correct with this liquidity incentive event. Don't be talking about, 10 million. No, that's not going to cut it. 10 million, that's not going to cut it. Come on. And for how long, too? How long is this liquidity incentive event going to last? 6 months or 24 months? 6 months or 36 months? You're getting a billion every month. For years, you're going to get a billion. It's going to be interesting to see. You're going to be outdone. Like Ripple X, are you going to be outdone by Flare Networks? Are you going to be outdone by Flare Networks? It's going to be interesting to see. I'll be here for it. All right, fam. Look, I'm going to hop off here. I appreciate you guys checking in. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way out if you didn't do so on the way in. And again, if you happen to be in that 45 to 50% of people who are hanging out, listening, and watching the crypto season, you haven't subscribed to the channel. If you've been enjoying those hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, baby, so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though. Because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.